when you hear the word paganism, what do you think?
We're not even going to go that.
Yes, we must.
Sure, somebody has to.
I have absolutely no idea.
All right, we'll get back to you. Candy Girl,
Blade.
what do you think when you hear the word pagan? What do you
I think of ancient rituals
Okay.
and community and sort of religion for last, spiritual practice, probably better than religion, based in nature.
So it's a religious, it's a practices, customs, religious, based in
Spiritual,
nature.
I think so.
Based in nature. Okay. No, not humanist. So there's no like savior. There's no something like that. But it's more
Not
about
as far as I know. It's more of gods and goddesses. Sort of. There's not a single.
one.
I mean, I study Native American culture and spirituality and stuff like that. And there are a lot of similarities. It's all very, it's very old. And so much of that is based on season change and natural phenomena, rotation, that kind of stuff. That's my potentially limited understanding.
Season change.
Like
So-
equinox and solstices and stuff like that.
How relevant do you think that is to us now in a climate-controlled universe where we don't have to worry about seasons? You know what I mean? And I have to say, like, I don't think of devil worshippers or anything like that, but I usually think Dungeons and Dragons kind of guys and girls. You know, they're medieval reenactors.
The nerds.
A bit nerdy, a bit
nerdy.
A bit of clicky.
But polyamorous and sort of like, yeah, there's a lot of different things.
I think of like dark.
Polyamorous nerds, exactly.
I think of dark and I think of fire, and to be honest, I have no idea what paganism is, and I have met one pagan this week, and she has been an extremely kind person and very natural to me. So I guess they're not devil worshippers.
Not.
Not.
I
No,
guess.
I'm clear on that. Not devil worshippers.
N-O-T.
But they might.
Do they like to burn things?
Right.
Well, that's the question I have, is how many, when you say, well, what is paganism, like, how many different sects are there?
Well, I have
Paganism is
interviewed
belief in
40
many gods.
different
sorry?
sects.
Belief in many gods.
Or-
That's what paganism is.
Maybe one aspect.
That's a good thing.
That's what I always thought paganism was.
But if they're not all the
Sign
same
God.
gods, they're not
No.
all the same gods.
You got Zeus. I mean, you got
There you go.
Thor, like you just said. You got all those
Well, that's
Greek
all the ancient
mythology.
Greek and Roman stuff.
Yeah, so
right?
there's also ancient and modern, I would think.
But, you know,
And
you can take
ancient
the
and
gods
modern.
out of it. Isn't it really just all
There's
about
modern
being in touch with,
Christianity.
like, the rhythms of the earth?
Yeah, I agree. Dorian says that the pagan festivals that he's been to are a lot like the Burning Man festivals. And the Burning Man festivals, for me, are definitely about community and about surviving the elements of the nature that we put ourselves into and working together to beat the odds. I don't know.
I don't understand the fire part of it all the time.
Well, it's all elements.
It's all
Well,
elements.
fire, water, air.
I know. Once upon a time, I thought Burning Man was a pagan festival, and I
Me
think
too.
some
Fire
people
for
think that.
transformation.
Because not all pagans go to pagan festivals. Most pagans probably just stay home.
Exactly.
You have raise a family, and right.
Is it your perception that most pagans are vegetarians?
No. Never thought of that.
How about ecological activists or eco-terrorists?
I think they could be anybody. I mean, you could be a pagan and absolutely anything.
What would you guess most pagans' political affiliation is?
Oh, it's certainly.
Democrat.
Yeah, certainly on the left.
They're pretty liberal, but I know that there's a pagan movement in the military. I mean, after 9/11, I went to a pagan ceremony downtown where they were calling on Thor to help strike down our enemies.
Who's Thor?
Oh,
God of thunder.
God, big God.
Thor
Like-
is the god? God of
No,
thunder.
He
He is
is
a god.
an old
God of
Viking
thunder.
god. He's an old Viking god. These are
Thunder and war.
guys who think they're Vikings.
Okay, man. So
Wait
do
a
you
second.
guys honestly believe that you would know if your neighbor or your doctor or your grocery store clerk were a pagan?
No.
Well, I think that's the problem is that they might hide it because they may feel that mainstream or society may not approve of that, and so they want to go a little underground with that. And they can certainly hold jobs, they can do whatever, but that part of them is going to be hidden.
But do you know the religion of any grocery store clerk, doctor?
Sometimes a guy who wears a yarmulke, for example.
People wear crosses.
What?
People wear crosses.
Sure.
Right, but you don't necessarily know.
I think when you walk this way in spirituality, you don't hide it anymore.
Well,
there's no reason for it.
What are some of the ways that pagans would show their affiliation? I mean, Christians have crosses and Jewish people have yarmulkes, but would a pagan, like I know Diana.
Pentacle.
Diana's probably a pagan, right?
Yeah.
So what is it about her? Is it the leather boots that come up to here and the green smocks? I mean,
I think that's more the Renaissance.
yeah, maybe. What was your question?
I
How would I feel about somebody?
I mean, do you think you would know?
You don't recognize it. No, I don't think so.
I don't think I'd recognize it as easily.
What if you did? If you saw your grocery store clerk wearing a pentacle, or a Thor's hammer like I wear, or any other pagan symbol, what would you make of it? Would you think it was a fashion statement, or would you think when you saw that they were pagan?
Good question.
I actually don't know what these symbols are. I think that people are not educated about the pagan religion. So I would say, hey, cool charm. I wouldn't really know that that was a symbol for being pagan.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah.
I would feel a sort of connection to this person because it's really unique still with him, and that makes it special. And everybody who's stepping out of the line is good.
I would agree with that. And I think community when I think pagan.
Self-expression. It doesn't matter, you may think it to be wrong or right, and somebody else is going to think the opposite of you, but
But it's only
it's self-expression. Live your life.